Savannah, I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah. The beauty of the world, Savannah. Let's all take a walk, Savannah. I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah. The beauty of the world, Savannah. Let's all take a walk. Savannah, I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah.
Memories die out too hard. When we were traveling mountains, just to find the loudest seas. We set down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. I remember the ocean, memories die out too hard. When we were traveling the mountains, just to find the loudest seas. We sat down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Biomutant. We apparently have a whole bunch. We still have more of a war to fight than I expected. So we have 3 more outposts to take over before we take out the next tribe and get their weapon. So we're going to run over and take care of that. And I have a feeling we're going to deal with the whole tribe war before we have anything to do with, why can't I spawn it here? It's water. Okay, fine. I see how it is. Just can't be nice to me. To go up and over. I wouldn't call it Call of Duty, but it does have guns. No, I haven't come across any glitches. Especially since they put the game off a year to make sure it was completely done and to have it come out with the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Yeah, that's how daytime works, buddy. No, I'm playing a PS4 game. I'm playing the PS4 version, but it is on PS5. I'm waiting to get a PS5. I've decided to allow the library to increase in size. Especially since there aren't really any games on PS5 that interest me that I can't get on PS4. Oh, I thought I'd be able to go through the whole goddamn tunnel. That blows. So, is there like no point to having come over here? Guess I gotta go up and around? Well, it's because I don't need either of those games. I'm not interested in either of those games. Basically, until I find a game that I can't get with what I already have, I see no reason to get a PS5. So I see a game that I'm interested in that I can't get. with a PS5. I see no interest. I have no interest in getting one. Especially since the PS5 and Xbox Series X are both still having issues from release. So once they work those kinks out, I'd be more likely to get one. Always wait about a year. Yeah, and by the time they have the updated PS5 out, the basic ones are going to be pretty much ready to go. Not so many hardware issues. God, how long did it take Microsoft to figure out the whole Red Ring of Death issue? Is someone throwing a boomerang around? Well, that's the thing. The PS5 only has PS4 backwards compatibility with certain games. While the library is more extensive than, say, the 360's backward compatibility with the original Xbox game library was, it's still limited. It's not the backwards compatibility we were promised. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that can beat darkness. If you're playing Pokemon, that includes really strong fists. If you're playing most element-based games, that's, well, the light. Well, that's the thing. They can't. It's a profiteering thing. They, in fact, can make it 100% backwards compatible. They've done it before. Well, yeah, with the PS2. And then the PS3 was able to play PS1 games, it just couldn't play PS2 games. For some weird reason. You had to buy it, unless it was, I found out today. Oh. I found out today the PS3, the original release PS3, could have had true backward compatibility with PS2 games. They removed it on later versions.
Now that you've got this far, which way will you go? Are you really tough enough to see this through to the end? Or will you turn tail and run when the end finally comes? Guess the end is coming either way. when there's nothing but a bad storm rising. It's ride or die. Asks you to think of the world like a set of locks. Every time you do something, you decide whether to open one.
But that's the thing. They still had an overheating problem afterwards when they replaced the... All they did was remove some programming. Since the PS2 and PS1 games had the same reading code. They just told the PlayStation 3 not to read PS2 games. There is no difference in coding between PS1 and PS2 games. Which is why the PS2 didn't need any extra coding or anything to read PS1 games. Yeah, and it's sad that they chose to do that.
Says worth is relative. What's bad for you might be good for him. The world seems like it's starting to feel. How pointless.
Yeah, no, it's just... It's crazy what people do, what companies will do for money.
Understand why you work with the myriad. Someone needs to look them up. Oh, they're so good, so righteous and worthless. You look like you'd be a fun lock to pick. Says back in the days, no one locked anything. But that's changed. Locking yourself in and others out is his key to survival.
So yeah, it's crazy because they promised us complete backwards compatibility, PS4, PS3, PS2, PS1, and we barely get much of any PS4. Okay, that's the thing. That's a different beast altogether. The government was created to govern. But because corporations have gained as much money and power as they've been allowed to gain, they've taken over. It's way too obvious to ignore. So now the government is run like a corporation. And it's dumb. Okay, that town is on fire. I gotta go defeat the attackers. Gotcha. I'm on fire. You're not an attacker. You are. Yes, it was. There's a lot of things it doesn't do to stop corporations from becoming as powerful as they are. That it should be. But they've also got the media on their side, fear-mongering people like, well, civilians, into thinking what's important is stuff like I mean, I'm not saying it's not important. LGBT, BLM, stuff like that, it is important. But not at the level that people seem to think. Unfortunately. Because here's something that a lot of people probably don't know about. Is that during a lot of protests that happened last year, it was a huge thing. The defunding the police and BLM, all that. The huge quote-unquote riots. Not very many of them actually ended up being riots. God, where'd it go? Oh yeah, here. Okay. In 97.7% of those events, there were no injuries reported among participants, bystanders, or police. Which means in those events, those protests did not turn into any form of a riot. 97.7%. We did not hear about a single one of those. It's just... It's crazy that the whole point of news is to tell us the truth about what's going on. But just like anything else, it's a company. And that's all anybody seems to care about anymore. And it's crazy. There are people who wonder why I continue to stream, even though at the most, I mean, sometimes, yeah, I get more than 2 or 3 viewers at one time. But it's rare. And I actually... I used to get a lot more viewers. But there's a lot of people I know who would stop streaming once their viewer count went down. And they wonder why I continue to stream, even though I have yet, after I've been streaming for 3 years, I've been an affiliate for 1. I understand what you're saying. I do. But there's a lot more behind it than just that, and I can argue it, but I'm gonna leave that beast alone for right now. What was I saying? I'm talking about the news, that's right. It's just crazy that they, despite there is a type of vow that newscasters technically take to tell the unspoiled truth. Oh no, it's become a big thing. That's just normal in America now, that BLM is considered superior. Unfortunately. Anybody who... It's become an odd norm to be okay with thinking that white people are bad. And it's strange to me that people will automatically assume something about a group of other people and then say that the reason they assume that is because the group they're assuming used to do it to them. And it's crazy. You're lowering yourself to the same level. You're lowering yourself to the level that you say they're bad for being at. You gotta be above them. You gotta be above what you're saying the other side is. Because if you aren't, you're no different. While I am behind the whole idea of groups like... I understand the basic concepts of groups like BLM and LGBT+, or whatever they've decided to start calling themselves now. They for some reason, they have some kind of tendency to change the letters. What I've heard recently is they're trying to get rid of the G. I don't understand the Q. But whatever. I'm gonna let them be what they are. Because it's kind of in the same form of... which, by basic definition, is the same as LNG. I'm sorry to say, it is. As far as I understand terminology, unless someone wants to give me something that can lead me to believe otherwise. And I mean, I would absolutely love for someone to be able to tell me why I'm wrong.
Nice price.
A lot of people get so upset when they're proven wrong. But, oh God. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to sound like a bad guy, but personally, that's bullshit. That's not a thing. There's a term I grew up with. And personally, something like that, and I didn't want to feel like it was a thing, but something like that makes me feel like it is. And the term is snowflake. I hate that term. But there comes so many people nowadays that just make me use it more and more because I see it. And I hate that I see it. But that's the thing. That's different. Personally, when did gender, the word gender means something different from biological sex? I don't know when that happened. It's just one day I woke up and people were saying it's a different thing. Just because you act different than what the societal norm states, it does not mean you aren't, it doesn't mean you're something different. That's actually, by saying, okay, you were born male. You want to play with Barbie dolls. Saying you are non-conforming to gender actually enforces the stereotype that men don't play with Barbies. By saying you are no longer a male because you play with Barbies, you are actually enforcing gender stereotypes. I'm sorry to say it. People are gonna hate me for saying it. But that's the way I see it. Yeah, that's the thing. That's really the thing about opinions. Really, I have a lot of friends who have a completely differing opinion from me. And if I stop being friends with someone, it has nothing to do with their opinion. When it comes to me and keeping friends, if anything, it has to do with how they choose to react to my opinion being different. Because personally, as an adult, as a mature adult, I should be able to listen to other people's opinions, thoughts, and ideas without it affecting how I feel about them. You know, I'm going to be honest, I never understood exactly what those two meant anyways.
It's a gloriously shiny day out here. That's the top of an old gas station.
Okay, here's something that absolutely confuses me that I would love to have explained to me. I would love to have it explained to me, period. The difference between bisexual and pansexual. Here's something that would actually get people who are really deep in the LGBTQ plus community pissed off at me, is the fact that, personally, they're the same thing. I see zero difference. Ow.
Just flip the switch of the generator to produce superheated glowy air and get on it when the lightning falls. First, you should track the superheated glowy white air.
What am I doing? Oh, I see. Okay, yes, I understand the meme joke, but I'm honestly actually being legitimate with this. I want to know why people seem to think there's a legitimate difference. Now, I have, honestly, kind of had this explained before. Where the difference is transsexual, transvestite? I forget what the term is people use. Transsexuals, that's what it is. Okay, but that's the thing. Okay, transgender. Okay. Transgender shouldn't matter if you're bisexual. Bisexual means you like men and you like women. Liking someone based on their personality, that's just being smart. Basing it that's a personality trait in and of itself, not a sexuality. At least that's the way I see it.
You did good, but reminded me you did all the work. Head back to click wow up the bottom fist.
Am I getting an electric-powered clonk fist? Honestly, I wish I could say yes. I really do. But I can't. Because we still have things like racism, sexism, basically hate in any way, shape, or form. Here's the thing. When I was younger, when LGBT started, the whole idea was inclusion. They were supposed to be inclusive. Yet, you look at the original name, LGBT, that was it. How can you be inclusive if you are against anything, any specific type of group, in any way, shape, or form? If LGBT were inclusive, actually, now that I think about it, LGBT used to be LGBTS. They removed the S for straight. And they removed it. And I really wish this weren't a thing, but it is. And I know for a fact I'm going to end up losing a lot of viewers at some point for this conversation at all. I know for a fact I'm going to end up losing a lot of respect from some people, but this is truly how I feel about it. And personally, it just makes me sad that groups like this exist. I'm sad at the basis that allowed Trump to be president. Here's something, people. Well, yeah. Yeah, it's like, why can't... Here's the thing. One thing I have to say to those really die-hard Christians is... if there is, in fact, a heaven and hell, and people decide, if it is even a decision thing, I personally don't think it is, but if people decide that they want a life that would cause them to end up in hell because of some greater power that doesn't seem to like it, I think it is... okay, maybe it is a little bit of both. I didn't create life. I don't know. Nobody does. Personally, that's a little bit of what makes life beautiful. The fact that we don't know. There's a little wonder in everything, and that's a good thing. I love science. I do, but sometimes we don't need an answer.
The oil claims this land a long time ago.
God, I was in the middle of saying something, but I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, that's right. It's like, as I was saying, yeah, I remember now. If I'm living a life that your higher being says is wrong, and you tell me, hey, I think you should probably change your life because I don't want you going to hell. Here's the thing. There is both a good and a bad to it. Religion, in and of itself, faith and belief, is actually a good thing. It's a way to teach and understand the world. A way to teach how things we don't understand might work. It does teach good things. The downside is that some people abuse those teachings for their own ends.
Get on it and run fast as you can.
And that's where the issue comes in. Yeah, pretty much. If anything, at its most basic level, that's probably exactly what it is. Or a way to understand a universe that they don't understand, which science has slowly taken over because that's just how discovery works. And I know through my personal experience that people don't want to feel alone.
Says that lying here in the sun isn't a bad way to wake up. Claims there's a machine out there that can turn. If you can find it and fix it up, you can.
Yeah, it's very, very little understanding. The funny thing is, we actually understand more about space than we do our own oceans. It's hilarious. And there's just, the universe is too big to think we understand a lot. There might be a higher power. There might not. There might be other life out there. There might not. For all we know, the other life that's out there might be the higher power. And if multiverse theory is in fact true, that makes things even more complicated.
That's gone forevermore. The place they planted dead folks. Oh, you don't wind up there soon.
What are these skeletons? I'm being attacked by skeletons. Apparently, we can mutate to the animals will mutate to the point where their skeletons will live after they die. Now that is scary.
Life is a difficult game, no matter how you play.
Here's the thing. I subscribe to a version of multiverse theory that allows for it to exist even if we can't prove it. Basically, my idea of how a possible multiverse would work includes it includes some way for multiverse to not exist in a multiverse. If you can understand what I'm saying. Okay. So the possible way a multiverse exists is that each universe is its own bubble throughout multiversal reality. Now, multiverse states that there's an infinite amount of universes that follow an infinite combination of rules. Which means that at some point there has to be a multiverse. There has to be a universe within the multiverse that states that the multiverse is not a real thing. Which is, in a way, a paradox. There is a way around said paradox. There is a way to allow for a non-paradoxical universe within a multiverse that states that multiverse doesn't exist. And put simply, every universe within a multiverse is connected in some way, shape, or form. So, a universe within this multiverse that says that multiverse doesn't exist, I'm guessing that's probably radiation, is just disconnected from this mass of other universes. Well, yeah, no, I mean, that's obviously how multiversal barriers would work. Vibrational frequencies. It would definitely help us. It would definitely maximize usage of space within space-time is vibrational frequencies. Now I'm getting technical, which I probably should avoid. There's a lot of people who wouldn't understand a lot of the technical jargon. I would admit there was a good bit of time where I didn't understand it, but then I love to learn. I do. And it is not weird for me to say that even though I love to learn, I hate school. Because personally, our current public education system does not teach. Exactly. And also by multiversal theory, what space-time is changes depending on which universe you're in. But yeah, no, I mean, as I'm saying, it's like our current educational system really does not help people learn. At all. It's crazy. It's all kinds of bonkers. The whole point of the modern educational system is nothing more than to get students to be able to correctly answer questions on a test that the better grade students get, the more money a school gets from the government. So schools put their time into making sure their students will know the answers to these tests. And nothing more. I just noticed where I am, and that's not a good thing. I'm too far away. There we go. I killed him. Oh man, I'm really looking forward to playing that one. I want to do Automata first, though. I have started playing it. It's been a while, so I barely remember anything at all. I do play Soul Calibur. What was the newest one? 7? Did it? I don't know. I really pay no... I have not paid attention to the timeline. I'll have to look into it. If that is the case, I will play it the other way around. I do know there was just Nier. And I need to look into that one. Because that was the first game. I think it was a PS2 game, actually. Oh, so Nier Replicant is Nier remastered? Okay, now I really have to look into this. Okay, so I'll really have to look into it. Yeah, no, I love... From what I have played of Nier Automata, I love Nier Automata. And, as I was saying, I've been playing the... I think it's 7? The newest Soul Calibur game? Oh, okay. But, 2B is a DLC guest character in the newest one. And, I got the DLCs mainly for her. I think it's 7. I think 6 was the one with God, what was? I think the guest star in 6 was Ezio. Yes, because 5 was the Star Wars one. 6 was Ezio, and 7 started with Geralt, which is the Witcher, who is from Witcher. And Geralt's a really fun character to play with too, but I love the 2B fighting style. I have built so many custom characters based off the 2B fighting style. Was it? I really need to... I'm gonna look at this. Okay, yeah, you're right. 6. Yeah, why not? I have an open seat. Okay, so yeah, the newest one was 6. Dampierre was a not... Dampierre is not a guest star. Dampierre was a DLC character built off of Ezio's fighting style, so that you can then, if you got that DLC, create a custom character using Ezio's fighting style. Well, I guess he declined. Oh well. I think this is the one I want, yeah. Yeah, he does. It's weird. I do not like Valdo's fighting style. It's weird. It's really weird. Valdo is just weird, personally. So I need 10 for that one. No, but if... Yeah, no, I really didn't care for Ezio's fighting style at all. To be honest. I love Assassin's Creed, I do. I couldn't even figure out how to use it, to be honest. But as I say, I love Assassin's Creed. I do. It's an amazing series. Before they revamped the mechanics and everything with Origins. Okay. 3 was my favorite.
This one, for example, shelter 5D.
I really enjoyed Assassin's Creed 3. It was a beautifully made game. And I would have to honestly say my favorite thing was the ability to climb trees. And I'm really glad that even though there weren't that many trees, that was still a thing in Black Flag. I've played Dishonored. I am not a fan. God, I played Dishonored, I think a few months after it came out. I do not like Dishonored. And honestly, my feelings on Dishonored are the reason why I have avoided playing Dishonored 2. And the game in and of itself is not bad. I actually really enjoyed playing the game. It was the mechanics they chose to use for affecting the world. And how they decided which ending you get and everything, it's completely based off of it's completely based off the idea of be either you're sneaky as you can possibly be, or you outright just murder everyone. Those are your two choices. Because you get noticed, they're on top of you, period. And it was really extremely difficult. I am not a sneaky person when it comes to games. It's like, when it comes to games where the base mechanic, the whole game is purposely built around. When it's built around the idea of being sneaky. The first one did too. I can't do it. It's impossible. I am much better at being sneaky in games where it's just an option. And that has little to no impact on the game itself. But Dishonored, it's like literally the whole point of the game. Seriously? It's even worse? Wow. I'm glad I've decided never to play it. At that point. When a game gives you a choice on if you want to be sneaky or not, that's good. I love being sneaky in those games. It just feels so... what's the word? Oh boy. Oh boy. He is kicking my ass.
When an unwanted memory intrudes on the mind, it is a natural reaction to want to block it out or just change it.
Holy crap, he beat my ass. Really fast, too. Anyway, what was the thing? Oh, yeah, no, when a game forces you outright to be sneaky. God, he had a huge stick. Didn't you see it? One hit was knocking out like a third of my health. So he just hit me 3 times and he won.
However, there's no doubt that what you remember makes your future different.
Apparently. I'm gonna go with the air glider. Yeah, no, but it's like Skyrim. Being sneaky in Skyrim is one of my favorite. I love to sneak around with a bow and take pot shots. I love it. It's amazing. being sneaky in Skyrim changes literally nothing. It just makes some fights easier. That's all it does. That's a good system for sneaking. Dishonored. The whole game. Hey there, Jay. How you doing?
Even a thick coat of fur is enough to
I
keep
guess I'm going around this. But in Dishonored, the whole point is to either be sneaky or murder. Apparently.
each new day means new chances.
Oh. So thank you for popping in. I really do appreciate it. We're discussing sneaking mechanics in games now. We've gone through a good number of topics today. Crazy. But yeah, no, Dishonored. The way the world views you. The way the story goes. The way the world is at the end of the game is purely based on how sneaky you were throughout the game. You can create a more peaceful world at the end of the game by successfully sneaking throughout everything and not killing a single person. But if you're seen in that game at all, literally every single guard in the level descends upon you. And the only way you can hope to survive is to start a murder fest. So if you are not good at sneaking, like I am, you cannot hope to get through a game like that without killing everybody. At which point, because of the mechanic of the game, you create the most chaotic end version of the world there is. And personally, that is the dumbest way you can create a game that changes depending on your choice. It's like that's the thing. It's like having different game ends based on a player's choices is amazing. Having different game ends based on how good your character. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Because the way the game is built, and the way I am when it comes to games in general, I wanted to create the peaceful world. But I suck beyond all kinds of measures and beliefs at sneaking. He's beating me up with a toilet. So, oh yeah, no, oh god. But yeah, no. Because of my inability to actually sneak well in any kind of game that uses it as the main focus, I literally had no choice in that game to start murdering. My inability to sneak in that game chose. How good I am at a specific game mechanic chose the ending for me. That's bullshit. That right there is what made me hate that game. The story was good. Personally, if it weren't for how difficult they decided to make the sneaking mechanic, I'd say the game mechanics were good too. All in all, looking at it as just a game, it was a good game. But the way it made me feel powerless in how my world's what my world's outcome was, I hated that. I have not played Devil May Cry. Any of them. I have not played any of them. I do plan on eventually playing them, but I have yet to.
A place where Toximol made all sorts of things during the days gone. This is a radioactive zone. It's not healthy to go too far in without protection.
Okay, you have a good one, Jay. Well, no, I mean, I do enjoy me some hack and slash. I do. I'm the kind of person where the only people who deserve pain are the only people who get pain are the ones that deserve it. Okay, so innocent civilians going crazy on the street because I killed a guard, nah. I'm not gonna be happy with that. Guards decided to work for the bad guy. They deserve to die. They made the bad choice. The people they're hurting, no. They're just alive. They exist. That doesn't mean they should have any kind of backlash from it. Especially since the only reason I killed the guards I killed in Dishonored was because I couldn't stay out of their line of sight.
This place looks like a real monster magnet.
Usually I do too. You have no idea how often I will go into a city in Skyrim just to murder people. Just to murder guards. And I'm not one of those people that saves the game beforehand just because they want to take out their anger on the guards. Like, literally, when it comes to Skyrim, my favorite group to be a part of is the Assassin's Guild. Because I can go around murdering people.
Let's see.
And I'm fine with killing people in games.
Out of those three, it inflicts us.
Because they're not real. It's not like I'm actually hurting anybody. When it comes to real life, hurting people, no. That's no good. No Gucci.
Here's the first line of defense.
Oh god. What game was it? Okay, that's the thing. When it comes to games with friendly fire, the only reason why I tend to avoid them is because I happen to know the kind of people who will shoot me in the back purely because they think it's funny. And they will do it in a situation where working together is what we need to do. It's like, the most important part of that situation is we need to work together. One of us dies, the whole thing's screwed up. And at that moment, at the worst possible moment, they decide, I'm gonna shoot him right in the back of the head. Oh, come on, move! Wrong way. What are you... Oh, you're stuck on my automaton. That's what. Wrong way. Ah, screw it.
Give it another try.
Oh, dang it. Yeah, that's literally, that's the main reason I don't like games with the friendly fire.
You're in. Keep going.
Unless it's got mirrored friendly fire. Oh yeah, no, if the AI gets in my way and I shoot them, that's their fault. They need... I don't like playing games with AI partners. They tend to be stupid AF. I will not play Sky... It's like, I refuse to play Skyrim with, oh god, what do they call it? The followers? Unless a mission forces it. Because, man, oh man, do they get in the way. That doesn't seem to do anything. I really hate, well, I do plan on trying it at some point.
Smoldering already.
So I can shoot it now? There we go. So yeah, I'll end up trying Dragon Age at some point. I will be... I think I have Inquisition. But yeah, no, more is like Skyrim. I've played Skyrim with a dog companion. And every time I'm trying to sneak around and get headshots with my bow and everything, they will push me out into the middle of the room and the enemies will see me every single time. I just cannot do my thing with companions. They're always getting in the way. They're always picking fights. It's just how many of my own companions have I killed because I'm taking shots at Draugr and they just decide I'm going to attack at this exact moment when he releases his arrow. Oh god, I hate it. It's just so ridiculously stupid.
This is turning out to be quite an expedition.
I know some people who will drink barbecue sauce just because they like the taste. It's weird. I mean, I enjoy barbecue sauce, but not that much. I enjoy barbecue sauce on specific things. I mean, I've tasted Texas barbecue when they don't use barbecue sauce, and ever since then, I can't do barbecue with a barbecue sauce anymore. Gotta do it with a dry rub. I eat chicken nuggets with hot mustard. Thank you very much. God, now I want some. Yeah, no, like, hot mustard is the only way I like my mustard. Well, and Dijon. But that's only in sandwiches. I only have mac and cheese with ketchup if it's got sausage in it. And man, oh man, do I love me some hot links. Hey! I can enjoy a good hot link. That don't mean nothing.
The sun is high.
I would hope not. I didn't give it any of my drugs. I mean, yeah! It's high!
Now you need to put the tensions on the machine and matching adjustment to get the wing twang into you.
Twing twang?
vicious. You're full of luck.
I wonder how much they paid people to sit around a table, look at pictures of items that were going to be in the game, and tell them, okay, we need a new name for this. Something simple and fucking on the nose. You don't cook. I mean, unless you're baking it into something, you really don't cook pie. Okay, when it comes to drugs, I'm gonna be honest. I have a favorite joke when it comes to drugs. And it's always that one where someone's talking about how they've never done drugs, they've never experienced it, they wouldn't even know how to buy drugs, right? And they always fall to the same joke. Where they're all like, yeah, I'm gonna go find a pot dealer, and yes, I would like 1 drugs, please. It's always that one joke. I would like 1 drugs, please. And personally, it's even funnier when they use it for an undercover cop in a movie. A frizzler? What the Okay, it's dead now. Yeah, it kind of feels like it is. I'll say something and then it'll be all like, well, if that's what you think. No, but yeah, no, it's, this game is really weird, but it also makes sense that it is the way it is. Because the whole idea is that humanity is gone. How far away am I? 189? Like, how many things do I have to go around to get to this place?
Now, which way to go?
Here we go.
The work what happened first. The next trial first be this in shape.
I think the whole point of the game is that we really can't understand it unless, yeah. The worst survival game I've ever played. Are we talking like sandbox survival or like just anything that has the survival genre slapped on it?
They scouted the outposts while they were waiting in the city. You have a look at what they found before entering. There is a high team ready to help with taking over that.
Because there is a good difference between them. I love me some sandbox creation survival games. but there are a few bad. Okay, so that's the thing. Rust is a sandbox survival. Horror survival is completely different beast altogether. That's why I'm asking. Like, are we talking in broad terms, or do we want a specific type of survival? But if you're looking for, it seems because you're throwing two different types of survival games out there, I'm guessing you just want broad terms. So in broad terms of survival games, God, I have to go all the way over here now. I would have to say the worst survival game I have played would probably have to be, oh boy, what is the worst survival game I've played? You can take a bit of thinking. Oh hey, you guys are up here. Okay, horror survival. Oh god. I've actually played a good number of horror survival games, and I don't know.
Get up there and get fixing.
Exactly which one I would consider the worst one I've played. Because I seem to be only thinking of the ones I liked right now. Something was laughing at me? Anyway, the worst horror survival game I played would have to be... Oh, okay, I figured it out. Friday the 13th. Oh, wait! Oh, God, Oh god, that is a good question, because I've played both. I have played the original Friday the 13th for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and I've played the most recent one, which is the one that gave birth to Dead by Daylight, and both of them were pretty bad. Out of the two, I would have to say the more recent one is the worst one. Yes, it was on PS4. It was also on Xbox One. Man, and I mean, it's not a bad game. It's the experience that was bad. Out of the two games, due to game mechanics and everything, the worst one was, in fact, the Super Nintendo one. But at least I understood what I was supposed to be doing in that game. But in the recent one, where, God, I do not understand the current. I mean, okay. More often than not, yes. There are some movies based off of games that end up being somewhat decent in the long run. Not amazing, but decent. Games based off movies, again, there are some good ones, but more often than not, you're going to end up with a bad game. He's got a shotgun. See, I'm trying to think of a good example here. Oh, here's a good one. I grew up on a game based off of Toy Story 2. I loved it. I still love it. Sometimes I'll go back to it and I'll play it some. Oh, really? There's another one's right over there. Okay. So sometimes there are games that are based off movies that are really good. Yes, I admit, Toy Story is a children's movie. No. But it was a good game. 007 GoldenEye. I've played one. I've played one of the Sly Cooper games, and it's really not my style of game. I also don't understand the attraction for Carmelita. Just like I honestly kind of don't understand the attraction to Black Cat in Spider-Man. Either way. Jak and Daxter, here's the thing. Jak and Daxter is not the same as Sly Cooper. They are two different games. It's like comparing... let's see. It's kind of like comparing Call of Duty to... same studio doesn't mean it's the same game. You can have two games in the same series that are different.
says you did a great job capturing the
It's like comparing Banjo-Kazooie to Killer Instinct. Both of them were made by Rare. I have yet to play Turok 3. I'm still trying to find a copy.
Says you didn't have much of a choice.
I'm trying to see if I can find them selling it on like Steam or something, but I haven't been able to find anything yet. And even then, they remade Turok for the Xbox 360, and that was a flop. They might have it on Epic. I haven't thought about that. And then the most recent Turok was even worse. All made by the same company, though. I think I've shown you what the newest Turok looks like. Escape from the Forgotten Valley, I think it was called. Or the Lost Valley, something like that. But it's all cartoony and shit. It's a top-down... It's a top-down puzzle game, I think it is. It's not like any other Turok game. Where is it? Oh, there it is. It ran me over. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Or like, Call of Duty Mobile versus Call of Duty. They're actually two completely different beasts now, even though it, like, Call of Duty Mobile, I think that was made by Treyarch? No, which one did Modern Warfare? Forget. I think that's Treyarch. I think Infinity Ward was the one with the zombies. No, Treyarch did zombies. I can't remember, but they're different. That's the point. It's like, just because it's the same company doesn't mean it's the same thing. I honestly have no idea because PS4 has a lot of open world games that have critical acclaim. Like Kingdom Hearts. Oh, No Man's Sky. I friggin' love No Man's Sky. But it's not only on PS4. It's also on Xbox and PC. Okay, here's the thing. There was a reason for it. When it launched, They had a reason for it being bad. They were basically telling their fans, the people that have been waiting for this, we are not as far done as we thought we would be at this point. There's a lot more work going into this than we have a lot more work going into this than we thought, and we overestimated how long it would take for us to finish. Basically, their fans didn't care. They wanted the game. So they were all, okay, but if we release it now, it's not going to be done. Fans didn't care. They wanted the game. So they said, fine, it's not done, but here it is. And people complained that it wasn't done. That's why it was, quote unquote, horrible at launch. I played it at launch. I enjoyed what they had. Because I understood the point of the game. Well, that's the thing. There are companies that do that. Yes. There is no DLC for No Man's Sky. I'm trying to figure out how to get up there. Apparently there's a path all the way out. Jeez. Don't think I wanted to go that way. Then here's the thing. Once No Man's Sky finally got everything they wanted out, it became a favorite. Everyone loved it. And they were telling people, see, you would have loved it from the beginning had you let us finish. And people never, for some reason, people just don't learn their lesson. There have been so many games that have actually gone through the same thing. Because people can't wait. They want it now and they don't care. They are. It's ridiculous that as a whole, humanity is quite stupid. Oh, I have a Frizzle Lurk to fight. I think the arrogance is kind of what leads to the stupidity, to be honest. We're too arrogant to correct ourselves. So we continue to be stupid. I mean, I'm going to admit right now, I'm not a very smart person. I do stupid things. I make mistakes. I don't know a single person who doesn't. personally, I don't think there is a single person who doesn't. And it really annoys me that there's a lot of people that out there that actually choose to believe that the thing that makes us that different from animals, even though we really are still animals, we are no different. We are not different. Yeah, pretty much. But it's like there are a lot of people out there who actually choose to believe that, quote unquote, what separates us from the animals is our ability to learn from our mistakes. And I'm sitting there like, animals do learn from their mistakes. How else can you teach a dog to listen to commands? It makes the mistake of not listening, and you punish it.
You'd expect his outpost to be invaded, but now that you're working with their rival, he can see one. Not sure if you're likely enough to just give up the outpost without it.
So, obviously, animals can, in fact, learn from their mistakes.
He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up.
So, that's not what makes humans better than animals, because animals can do the same thing. Animals can reason. So, that's not it. Exactly. It's just crazy that the people... It's like there's so many things that people think make us different from dogs, cats, bears, so on and so forth. But there's so many things that prove them wrong. Yeah, I need one more sight point and I can actually get this over and done. I can finally get my next power. Which will let me float. But that's the thing. Our specific form of social system might make us different. But it's not the fact that we have one. That because there are animals with social systems. Ants are insects and they have a social system. They have a hierarchy. But that's the thing. We're actually finding a lot of research that there are animals with social systems as complex as humans. And recently I actually saw this video where this person actually says, well, no, it was a movie. It was,
Taking control of this force will bring peace between your
God, I actually think I brought it up before. About, the movie about Turing. Where he says just because something thinks differently doesn't mean it doesn't think. It just means we can't understand the way it thinks.
The scouts have reported activity nearby that's worth looking into before you enter the fort. The plan is to fling you over the wall with a sling lock. However, it's better you go and find one for yourself. It can't be too much.
So glad I got this upgrade. Probably talking about a catapult.
Heads up. That's the peak spot. A great place to watch the world from. Who knows who might take the picture?
Oh yeah, no. I personally agree with that. And it's crazy. I mean, just like with everything else, there is some exception. There are people who want to learn for the sake of learning. Myself included. But there are also times where I have made myself learn something purely because I knew I could use it to help myself. Such as labor laws. I personally wouldn't give a shit about labor laws if American employers wouldn't find everything they could to abuse workers. Which includes me. If they were fair people and treated employees like people, I would never have even tried to learn labor laws. Just to be able to protect myself. Oh no. I tried not to. Like, right now, I'm trying to learn how to use a 3D modeling program. Because I'm about to reveal a huge secret. I am actually trying to open up. I'm actually trying to get a, what am I supposed to be doing here? Oh, I see. Okay. Someone's supposed to be calling me or something? I am trying to... Wait, what? I don't understand.
So, the technology from yesterday is still here today.
I am trying to get, like, a merchandise thing started. And I am trying to learn how to make 3D models. So that I can 3D print some merchandise. I might not get very many people buying anything from the start. But why not? I think it would be cool. Where am I going?
The light is nearly blinded.
I don't, okay, I have a desktop 3D printer. It's not big enough for that. and it would be made out of plastic. I would not be able to get any kind of robotics in it. I'm not doing that. I'm not making that kind of product. No, I'm gonna make like just like little figurines and stuff. You have used the correct terminology there. Yet. No, honestly, like protogens and all that, freaking, they're adorable. I would love to be able to have one as a pet. No, but there are these, God, what's it called? So there is this, this thing I have. That, it's a dice dragon, that's what it's called. That it's literally just this little plastic dragon that came with a D20 die. Maybe I could make something like that. That would be interesting.
That's the fine stuff. The dry grass looks like it ignites easily. Just
Of course you do.
to light a fire. It burns right along.
God, did I? Did I fix my my channel for like 18 plus? I think I did. I can't remember if I did. I really need to look and make sure. Oh hey, I leveled up and I didn't realize it.
Your energy is at
No, it's fine. It just means I just have to make sure that I did, so that it's like, so that you can make comments like that without me getting in trouble. Because honestly, I would like to be able to actually have conversations like that about things like that. Because, I mean, I'm an adult. And that the fact that something like that is taboo even for adults to talk about is kind of dumb. I mean, in the way real life works, people are going to come across it. That's just how it works. Got another battering bonker I gotta work with here.
Battery bunker looks like a great way to get through the gate.
Who wants to help me with the battering bonker here, huh? Heave ho and whatnot.
Then you just need to knock and it'll open up. That's bonkers.
Good lord, he's making the exact same jokes.
The network values liberty and is striving to protect freedom. They want to continue these tribes and believe that uniting is the only way to survive.
Wait, what?
He was hoping it wouldn't end this way. There's no reason to fight instead of uniting. It would be fighting over nothing. He sees strength in you like no one else. But if fight is all you do, he can't stand by you. He recognizes the strength of a good argument and agrees it's of the best. He'll give up the fort to you.
So, do they think... But that's the thing. Personally, ignoring topics like that allows them to get to the point they're at now. Being able to discuss them openly means that we can, in fact, find a middle ground. But people would rather just avoid the conversation altogether and not fix the issues we have.
But suggestions you be merciful. Do good, and good will follow you. Thinks it's a good gesture to offer support to others when you can see that they need it. And with that, you're spinning your own fate, good or bad, never to be undone. Side by side they'll stand until order and stability is reinstituted. He's got news that the other tribes have realized there are no winners in this war. There's no purpose in antagonism. The way he sees it is that you've been forced into opposition. Your tribe didn't start the war, but it's fallen to you to end it. It's clear your efforts have been successful. There's light at the end of the tunnel. The tribes are tired of war and will remember the one who brought them peace, whether you decide it'll be now or later. So, do you want to end the war now or continue?
Yeah, pretty much.
He agrees. Better save your energy for something.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. People would rather just avoid the conversation that could end up solving the major issues we're dealing with. Hey, look, I think everyone's working together now. Yeah, no, it's just ridiculous that they would rather just not talk. Because talking and discussing is what is going to fix. It's gonna be what helps us find the answers. But we decided we'd rather just not do it. I guess I ended the war.
It's the Netra claw chain. The mountains are so tall, Pete. Breathe
Like, yeah, it's ridiculous. The people would rather just avoid things altogether. Anyway, I think this is a good place for us to stop. We will return to Out of Date. I do believe I have officially ended the war. And there is one more puff to fight. So we will probably be going after that next time. Until then, I hope everybody has a fantastic night.